in whatever, we want to say, whatever we want to do, whatever your, particular greeting is. So Meek Mill today put up, right? He put up on Instagram, he was responding to a academics video. And as you can see on the thumbnail, he told you one of the craziest things that he's seen at Diddy's party, right? Guess what? Little bugger sugar, little white girl, whatever the slang is, wherever you from. I don't know what people call it. Where I'm from, they call it the white girl, right? Hopefully, y'all can hear me good. That's it. We were kind of under the impression that, you know, and maybe he's not telling the complete 100% truth. Who knows? I don't know. But we were kind of under the impression like, yo, he's over there, like mad people, mad celebrities in these rooms. I ain't gonna throw no names out there, because people try to, sue and all that, right? But if I were to say, any of the biggest celebrities, any of the biggest names, all in this room, and they all screwing, and they all doing drugs, and they all doing this, and they all doing that. Now, yeah, I hear you. Maybe he's not telling the truth, you know, but I just kind of see it like, yo, like even like they put all these pictures out, and maybe later, I'll do something when I'm back home, whatever the case may be, and show it. He got Xanax, Roxy's, Perks, Benadryl. I think he had coke, weed, all types of weird sex stuff. Like the dude's just a freak, bro. Dude was just a freak, a woman beater, a drug addict, narcissistic, manipulative, all of that. But is it RICO though? That's the part that I'm having. I'm having a hard time, I'm putting the RICO part on this. Like all the other stuff, I agree. Like scumbag dude beating on women. Exactly, Fancy Alexander. But I'm having a hard time seeing that. It's like it almost seems like, and a lot of people might crucify me for saying this, like he's being targeted for being just a scumbag, as they say. When I think of trafficking, I'm thinking like this dude is, you know, getting these people, undocumented people, bringing them, having them do stuff, moving them to different states. Like that's what I'm thinking of. Nah, you just having a good time, ordering up escorts, you know, you sleeping around, you paying them, you doing all these different drugs. And I mean, come on, we all know somebody, right? I've been busier. We all know somebody who's been in an abusive ass relationship, right? Homie was a straight nut. Rico is because of his status. He's recruited. Yeah, I agree. I agree. He definitely a nut. It's because of who he is. That's what I'm kind of explaining. Hefner did the same thing. Like we know people that have been in abusive relationships, beating ain't women. I know women that stab dudes, guys doing all types of different drugs and alcohol and smoking, and we all know people that's into that. Even people that want to order people for sexual things, right? But yeah, they definitely need to address the trafficking law. They're making a normal occurrence of somebody just doing what they do inside the house, calling people up that's with it, because they're not one of them workers say, look, I was never with it. I was never with it. None of them workers said I wasn't with it. All of them, what's up, Julina Holston? All of them was with it. And at points in times, they was even with it so much that they was like, yo. Now I know somebody, right? I'm not gonna put their name out there. That's doing like a that read the whole thing, that read the whole script, whatever the case may be. Not the script, but the court papers. And they said that these dudes would pop in there not knowing who it was. Did he have a bandana on? And they see Cassie and be like, oh my God. Like they don't know who it is before they get in there. They see like, yo, I'm about to Cassie. Like, Come on, they was getting paid for a service. Exactly, Renee. That's what they do. Is it illegal? Yes. Lock them up for that. But all this other stuff, they reaching, bro. Kathy Rose, what up? Fancy Alexander, if Cassie was getting paid for her to be a sex worker, where's her money? She wasn't. I don't think she was getting paid. She was just doing it because she liked it. It's all about money, power, and politics. Absolutely. He wanted it, bro. And maybe I know I look at it like this. She was young, she was impressionable, right? He was with it at a point in time. I look, if you just come in here, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs up. We got 145. Let's get 100, at least 100. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Carl Letha. I appreciate that. Thane Media. I don't think they were getting paid. Maybe more freaky. Well, look, some of them said they was getting paid. Some of them said they was getting paid, you know? Stockholm syndrome. Possibly. I'm not gonna take that off the table. It's a lot of comments. I'm trying to keep up. Trying to keep up. Shout out to Haiti in the building, Canada in the building. We gotta keep it real with the situation. Like I never did like Diddy. I don't like Diddy. But I'm looking at this, I'm trying to find the aspects of the RICO, and I'm trying to find the aspects, you know, of the SA, the ST. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's to the point, you know, Meek Mill dated Diddy, Nicki Minaj. Come on, come on, come on. I just don't see it. Am I wrong? He was a horrible guy. And back to Cassie. Cassie was doing her thing. I felt like she got turned out to a point at a point in time. He was loving it. And after a while, the abuse, the drugs, it started to beat down and wear down on her. And she wanted to get out of it. You know what I'm saying? She wanted to get out of it. But then even after, she was calling Diddy. He loved Diddy. Black Phoenix, I'm gonna address this. That's a good one. All I can say is a lot of dudes saying Cassie's fault, but a lot of y'all mamas had it with a dude she didn't want, but was scared to leave. No, no, I'm not saying it's her fault. I'm saying even if that's the case, she was scared to leave. Okay. But she still consented. That's why there is the age of it's consenting adult. That's why they have the age of consent. That's why you're responsible for your actions. If Cassie were to go knock somebody off and kill somebody, she can't say, "Oh, somebody made me." Just no. You're responsible for your own actions. You're responsible for your own. Yeah, there's manipulation. Yeah, there's coercion. Yeah, you could be scared, but absolutely, you still did it. Why didn't you go to the? Why didn't you run to the police station? And this, if and I get what you're saying, but if I'm the defense, this is the shit I'm gonna bring up. Why didn't you just leave? Was he holding you hostage? Like it's a gray area there, bro. It's a gray area where people's got to be like, yo, hold on. If the police station's up the street, you want protection from the police? Go up there. Is Diddy more powerful than the police? Now I get the psychological aspect of it, like where you feel like you're stuck, you can't do this, you can't. I understand that. I'm not saying that, but to take this man down like this for this, I think it's a little bit far fetched, in my opinion. I'm going to bring in Mr. Turney, Mr. Shabazz, in Friday to talk about this and ask him some of these questions. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. You know, address the videos that he kept for extortion. That was some nut. Look, I already said that was some horrible, like off the wall type stuff. I'm not going to. I'm not excusing Diddy for what he did. I'm talking about the government. That was crazy. Who does that? Devo Entertainment. Shout out to you. He was groomed, Starbucks said. 90% of the industry attended Diddy parties, rappers, actors, politicians. Absolutely. And what about Hugh Hefner? How come with one person is glorified? With a guy like Hugh Hefner, it's glorified. It's the Playboy Bunny mansion. What's going on in that mansion? You don't think drugs was going on? You don't think women was sleeping around with this and sleeping around with that? It's the Playboy mansion. But it's always, in my opinion, it's a racial divide here as well. There's different layers, there's different aspects. There's an aspect of male and female. A lot of females Feel very sympathetic to Cassie. A lot of females been through stuff, so it's hitting their pain bodies, it's hitting their emotional bodies, and they going crazy over it. But when you take emotion out of it, you like, yes, does he deserve to do some time? Probably, yes. I'm not gonna say that. But I think that the charges are trumped up. So what I'm trying to say. Let me read what y'all saying. I was saying some good stuff. Keep it going. Trauma bond, love, hell no. Hey, if it's consensual, it's made out of fear. I mean, at what point though do we determine it was fear? Because when we say, all right, 'cause when you look at when you read the transcript, he asked her, like, is you down with it? He introduced her to it. She could have like, hey, you come on, what chicks we know be like, yo, I want to bring another woman into the relationship. You crazy? You don't no, no, no. Same thing with y'all. A woman, your man asks you, I'm trying to bring another boom. You know how I go. It's a choice. I don't think from the court document he was beating on her up, beating on her from the start, and coercing her from the start. He got involved in his lifestyle with him, and then it got too much. It's just like you get into a relationship with somebody, you figure out who they are a year or two in. Like everybody's smiling, everybody's nice. Now you start figuring out who this person is as you move forward, and you're like, damn, I just got myself with some crazy dude beating up on me. I don't like the drugs, but she was taking the drugs willingly. If somebody had, if I go to a party and there's drugs out and there's things, nobody's slipping into my drink, I'm taking it willingly. I'm taking this. I want to try this. What's this? I want to try this. What's that? Now you get hooked on it. I'm gonna blame this guy because he made it accessible. I had the choice. That's one thing I got. I had the choice. You have a choice. My sis stayed in the extremely abusive marriage for 10 years left and went back. It's you as a man. He was freak making choices off of free will. Exactly, Jerome. He was like, yo, then he was setting them up. Like, yo, I'm setting these joints up. I'm trying to get so and so, homie from here, this person from here. Let's get it popping. The text messages showed that. What did it was like, damn, you horny. Like, okay. Like, so something you gotta like, the text messages don't lie. We can't, the prosecution is trying to make it sound, ooh, some helpless young girl that was, forced to do all of this stuff she didn't want to do. And it's not the case. Not the case. Maybe sometimes, but not all the time. And that line has to be drawn. If there's a shadow of a doubt by one juror, if one juror says, nah, she was down with the, nah, she was accomplished, then they got an issue. That's all I'm saying. If she was so fearful, why was she sleeping with Diddy after she got married? Exactly. What they gonna say? It was trauma bonding? Like, if you scared of somebody, you're not going back around them no more. I'm not. I'm scared. Like, come on, man. That's why I think it's a very either side. Whoever's going to be more persuasive is going to bang this thing home. Like, man. Either side can really bang it home. Whether you're the defense, whether you're, and I'm gonna bring a defense lawyer on Friday. She'll be on. So Friday evening, be ready for that video to drop. It's gonna be fire. We got somebody today too. It's gonna be fire. Trust me. Bring you nothing but fire. Our mother needs to be questioned again. Hung jury, I see. All right, it's a lot of stuff, bro. Let me get there. Let me see. New York Beast 360. This is supposed to be a RICO trafficking case, but it's really about DV and basically orgies. No S trafficking evidence so far. I agree, brother. I agree. And if it was, I would say it was. Because at first I'm like, yo, he's cooked. At first I'm like, oh man, damn. But now I'm sitting back like, hold on. Yes, he beat her up. I seen the photos. He's a piece of shit for that. Yes, he was into drugs. I'd have seen the exhibitions from this morning where he showed all the pills and stuff he had in there, whatever he had in there, all types of different color pills, ecstasy, guns with ammo, hollow tips, all that. That's all grounds to give him obviously time in the feds and shit. We know that. but trying to throw him away for life. And then another aspect I'm gonna cover, which I'll be talking about later, they could take his fortune if he's convicted. I think he said he got like 400, 500 million he's worth left. What? So it's just like, yo, man, Cassie was requesting her pills. I need a pack begging for what I need a pack for begging what you want is the choice. I'm drinking coffee looking at my Donald Trump picture on the wall. And where are these other people? Because if you're talking about the trafficking, where are these other people at? They put the pictures out of these escorts that was paid for their services. They already admitted they was paid for these services. Now some of them said they seen abuse, but that just goes to the whole DV situation. I need to ask her mom for the bank statements. Great point. Because she was talking about the 20,000. I'm sure the defense, if they see it pertinent, that they will do that. Say, all right, if that's true, let's see the wire. All I want to know is what Meek got to say. Meek said that all he seen was them sniffing booger sugar. All he seen, which I'm sure at every Hollywood party you probably see that. I'm sure. So if you just coming in, Meek, and it's on the thumbnail, exactly what he said. If you just coming in, he said all he seen was them snorting. That's it. Now maybe he seen more, but his word is his word. He ain't on trial. He gave us what he gave us. We're gonna deal with that. We know how I go. I mean, it's like we've been to parties. I've been to parties as a youngster where people was doing all types of stuff. With the room in here, somebody getting smashed out in this room, somebody getting smashed out in this room, somebody running a train on this one. And come on, man, I've seen situations where girls was with that type of shit. So have y'all. Well, she was with two, three dudes, whatever the case may be, or a dude was with two or three girls. Like we acting like this shit ain't what's really going on in the world, bro. That's the part that gets me about it. I'm not saying that is right. I'm not saying that DV is right, but it happens. Meek Mill played it safe. Y'all, this Trump government. Y'all, this is Trump government. Remember that. I wonder if Diddy's gonna take the stand. They were being transported under their own free will. And who was being transported? Because they was going to different cities, hollering at people from different cities. Hollering at Chad from Miami and Billy from Atlanta and Joe from Los Angeles. Moving who where? Moving who where? You know? Like I said, what you don't have, leave in your will. His assets need to go to the victims. Karma Daniels. What victims? He already gave Cassidy 40, $30 million. That we're trying to call now. And then you got to go to the whole history, this whole Mann Act thing and this whole trafficking thing, man. It kind of, is to target us, you know? The leak audio of Meek Mill haunts me to this day. What leaked audio? Was it an AI joint or a real one? Jason, you know what? Jason Allen. I was wondering the same thing, and I'm thinking like, would it be beneficial? It depends on how the trial goes. I think him and his lawyer have to really, really, really look into that. You know, Presidential Mike. The fact that people keep making Cassie out to be some kind of victim outside of DV as well. He was with the free calls, and that's what I keep saying, bruh. And I think I don't. It may not even. I think the government used her and coerced her into going against Diddy. I think she was cool with the money and the settlement. But the government's, like, oh, you got to testify. We got to get you to testify. This guy's this and that, and it started hitting them pain body. And she got on the stand. He was with it, bruh. She was with it. You know, come on, man. Like, yo, ain't making no like. Come on, bruh. Like, I get it, pimps and stuff, how they have. But at the end of the day, you got to say, look, man. I'm out. I'm not doing this. And she admits herself that she wanted to get a deal. She didn't want, things to, to lose the status and the record industry. And she was looking for something for this. Come on, women, come on, man. Let's go, guys. Like, come on. A woman that can do a lot of things, man, to get somewhere. Like she'll do a lot of things. A lot of things, yeah, you know what I'm saying, to get what she wants. Like, stop it. Chirac 154. Fancy Alexander. Let's stay and show evidence of people and children being transported. This shit is over. Yep, that was false. I believe that was yeah, that was yeah. That was AI, bro. There'd be a lot of AI stuff to come out. Kathy Rose, they need to drag Cassie back in the court and question her so-called husband Alex. He put Cassie up to this because him and Cassie were two broke bum. Man, man. Yo, you said it, not me. You said it, not me. New York Beast 360. Cassie was the ringleader of the male escorts. Other females weren't involved in the same freaky stuff. She remained quiet too now. Wow. Earning Thomas. She was a co-conspirator. She was given a deal to get out. Oops. To get out of the RICO by snitching. She was able to do this since she was also a victim. The best way I can explain this to you. You hitting on some points. I'm not gonna lie. Yep, Jason Allen. I agree. I think the defense will wait to see how this plays out, and that's what I would do. I'm not saying I'm an attorney, but just being a thinker. Like, let's see how this is going. Let's look into the jurors' eyes. Let's see, gauge the pulse of different things. Maybe look at some polls and say, all right, look, we got to put you on the stand, bro. We're going to prep you. We're going to put you on the stand because he could really turn this thing. He could really talk about, he could really like say, look, yeah, I'm wrong. I hit her a few times. I see the photos, but she hit me too. He beat on me too. It was an abusive relationship that I got help with. I was on drugs. I went to rehab. I got rehabilitated. I got Jesus Christ in my life. And we was doing a lot of freaky stuff. I was making a lot of money, and he can really flip it. And he can say, look, man, I was paying workers. Like, I'm guilty of, paying sex workers, escorts. But I never forced nobody to do nothing. Like, he can, this could, man, this gonna be crazy. Y'all clearly know how sex trafficking law. You know how they work, but we saying it's skewed. Jenny Montana, it's bullshit. That's what we know how it works. It's bullshit. And it's to get people jammed up. That's not really doing it. We know how the crack laws work too. We know how stop and frisk work too. Like, we acting like this system is just. Like, come on. Like, let's stop playing. They stop playing games. What about the tunnel under the house? I never heard about no tunnel under the house. Kathy Rose, Diddy could beat the case if his defense team asked the right questions, try to save him. Yeah, but then I agree with you. However, and they will ask the right questions, but it's that cross examination. If you're going to be able to stand up and handle that, because they're going to ask you questions, the same question 10 different ways, and try to flip you up, try to get you emotional, try to get you out of your character. So he needs to be really prepped for any type of question, how to answer multiple types of questions, multiple different ways. Can he do that inside prison? I'm not sure how much time they have to sit together. If he was out, he could. They can do a whole, like, how they get presidents ready for debates and things like that. But inside prison, I'm not sure. But that's a good point, though. Y'all don't want to give sympathy and protect Diddy's image. I don't know what you mean by that. All success acts, the mindset that a 19-year-old girl is a ringleader. This is why so many black people go to prison. They have no concept of what I am doing, my responsible, always looking to blame someone else. I mean, she started off as 19. They was together for 11 years. So what are we talking about? I'm not necessarily saying she's the ringleader, but she it seems like She was with it at points. I mean, matter of fact, we know that she was with it at certain points from the text messages and her setting up free calls herself. But y'all will say, or people will say, "Oh, he was scared. That's why she did it." Hey, I mean, it's up to the jurors to believe that. Hey, hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. 171 people strong in the building. Let's get up to 100 thumbs up real quick. 100 thumbs up if you're enjoying the message and enjoying what's going on. Whatever happened to the guy that's supposed to be the drug dealer? I might have missed the news on him. Think he got like some type of sentence or something like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Think he got some type of sentence and he's out of the picture. Okay. See what else we got. Renee still no Diddy taking a stand will condemn him. And that it might. It might. But yeah, it might. It might. It might. It just depends on how good I'm saying I'm not sitting in the courtroom. I wish I could. It's first of all, it's too damn far, and no. If it was in my town, I would definitely be in there. A beast 100. She was scared of what y'all act like y'all don't know how to say, certain things. Hold up. She was scared of what y'all act like y'all don't know how to say no to certain things and people BS. That's what I keep saying, bro. Like, go right now, ask your woman. Like, yo, it's this thing they got going on. Well, I want to see, so and so do this. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna do this. Watch how fast she get up out of there. You could be with her for 50 years. You can have all the control over her you think you got. You know? Maybe she felt like it was a part of his lifestyle. Maybe she felt like she wanted to please him. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's not true. It's possibly true. You know? Don't be distracted, Black America. We know what this is greed. What? See what happened when we seen what happened when she was at the hotel. We did get real. No matter how many times people say no, yes to a predator. Hold up. Get real. No matter how many times you say no, it means yes to a predator. Yes. Redbone Star Goddess Diddy could have killed that girl. Dude is crazy. Could have, but didn't. In the court, she did say that she wanted to please him and make him happy because she thought that's what she's supposed to do in a relationship. You love him. Yeah, but it's certain things it's just like you gotta have some common sense too. None of this happened to Hugh Hefner. True. New York Beast 360. I wonder why Young Miami's gonna say something. She was with Diddy's side chick assistant. Yeah, I mean, some people gonna be loyal, bro. Some people are gonna be loyal. Some people, they not gonna, come out against him. Where's Farnsworth Bentley? He chilling, but she went back after the hotel. Let's stop focusing on who Hefner's not gonna change anything. Agreed. Vladimir, what's up, Vlad? President Mike. So now people can go back on consent from 15 years ago. They really say yes to. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. CC Dollars. Obviously, the girl was fearing for her life and would have done whatever, whenever. Then why did she go back to him? Was still sleeping with him after she was with her peoples. She was fearful. Why was she still texting him? They talking about they love each other, and that's a question we all got to ask ourselves. D Day, I believe she wanted him live her, but he don't respect anyone, never a woman. You don't hear nothing about Kim Porter, J-Lo, all these people he was with. You don't really hear it, like, you know, you don't really hear it. You think people's thinking they be thinking all these other celebrities is with it, and this person and that person, and It just don't see we're just not seeing that yet. Maybe it comes out later. Solar Sapien, y'all dudes act like if what he wanted her to do was normal. I mean, look, it's a whole industry of what they was doing, bruh. A whole industry. King Hazy. I'm starting to wonder if Cassie is related to Kim being deleted. I can't say that about Diddy. Like, I mean, people come on and they say that, but what proof do they really have? They said she was writing a book and all this, and you know, Sean Combs had no love for that woman. Trust me. Jason Allen, I'm waiting to see if all these people that's been on YouTube all these years talking about Diddy and the evidence they have, where they be on the stand. Word, bro. Word, bro. Yo, all these people, hell no, they ain't gonna be on the stand, man. They doing that shit for a check, bro. I'm gonna tell you what, this shit turned into payola. Like this turned into straight up payola. Where it's like, give me 4 or 5 thousand, $1,000 to come on, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna say whatever to keep coming back and getting that check, bro. I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. They said Sean Combs had scars on his body when Kim was defending herself. Hmm. Payola, I guarantee y'all, earning. I'm telling you what it is. I'm telling you what it is. I know. You got people asking. I'm like, yo, whoa, whoa. You want what? For what? Come on, man. Come on, man. Because he has power, it didn't matter where she went. She knew he could always find her. I mean, the man was getting her hospital records and all. You might have a point there. I've never been in that situation. I wouldn't understand that. But I guess, I guess. And I mean Pio, I'm talking about all the people that come out talking about Diddy, whoever they may be, whatever they may be. That only been around them for a short period of time or never even been around them. It's just like at the end of the day, you have to take that with a grain of salt. But now it's an industry. So it's like the more shit you say, the more wild shit you say, the more interviews you get, the more money you make. That's all I'm trying to say about everything. So can it be verified? Are these people being brought into trial? No, probably because it's not pertinent, it's not relevant, or it's a lie. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Me personally, I would never do that. You know, I'm just a loyal person, bro. Like just a loyal guy. I'm just, if somebody put me, on a situation, uh, 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 business partners and shit like that. I'm just not gonna speak about it in public or on the stand. It's not, a bunch of shock value dealers. Word, like, I'm just not gonna do it, bro. I think it's an honor. Like somebody gave me an opportunity, it's an honor there. Where it's just like, all right, unless you messed around with kids or something crazy or something like that, you know, uh, uh, yo, I moved on, bro. You know, I just, I don't really respect it. You know, Jaguar, right, and jeans showing up at a courthouse is like fire and gasoline. you know, but again, it's the whole thing of wanting to see the elephant fall. Waiting for the elephant to fall. DC Dollar. She said the first time she kissed him, she cried because she knew her career was in her hands, and she didn't. And then another part that I gotta understand about this man is like a lot of these people is tied to these secret societies, and when they break that oath, the oath that they take, it's a proverbial head chopping off, whether it's physically, economically through the media. You might also seeing that, and this ties into the whole Diageo thing. Even 50 Cent talked about that. Him biting the hand that feed. Think he got too powerful and having skeletons in his closet, and them opening up that closet door because there's a level of protection, obviously, when you got judges, lawyers, doctors, media people that are in these secret societies. You know, that humiliation ritual, absolutely. That you know can pull different strings, or not. I'll pull strings and say, you know what, I got you, bro. Don't even worry about it. I know so and so. You good. We both on the same this or the same that. And then when it's like, all right, look, he broke this, he broke that. Yo, go ahead, get him, man. He lost all his protection with us. Love doesn't make you hurt people. If the defense questions Cassie's whereabouts and her jealousy of Kim Porter, she's cooked. That'll make her a secondary suspect catching. But the thing is, I think Cassie's done now. I think she's done. I think she's done. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's going back on the stand. I don't know if you could put people back on the stand. That's the question I'll ask the attorney on Friday. If you want to email me some questions to ask her too, my email's at the bottom of the description. I could ask the attorney some questions. If I have some, email me ogod@hiphopyawn.com. You know, let me get her people. What was one that I wanted to read real quick? Diddy lost around 600 million tonight. Report. Wow, wow. We drink a little bit of water, real quick. Hold on. Oh, all right. But this thing, y'all really into this? That's crazy. But yeah, back to the Diageo thing. It's like, yo, you. All right, thank you. And just send me an email, and I'll ask the question for sure. But yeah, y'all be what's today, Wednesday. Yeah, y'all. I know people. I guarantee you, if this shit was on, like they had cameras in there, I'd be watching this joint every day, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I said I was watching that YNW Melly trial, like, hours on hours. I would definitely be watching this one. And if I could have got up in there with a camera, oh my god, I'd have went to 1 million subscribers like in a week or two. I mean, that's how crazy that would have been. I ain't gonna even lie, man. Who you think groomed Diddy? I'm not sure. Some people say Clive Davis. His net worth went down according to media reports. Probably. Let me see. I might be right about that. Let me see real quick. Let me see. Dang, I need some glasses. Uh, damn. You're right. They said his estimated it's down 400 million his net worth, and it was over 1 billion. Oh my god! Wow. The Independent has an article about it. What happened to Diddy's 400 million fortune if he's found guilty? They could take it. If I was him, I would have liquidated. He gave my sons bags of money, man. I'm sure he did something like that. Gave him gold bars and stuff. But some stuff you can't liquidate like that, or whatever the case may be. Because I'm sure that the feds, seized it and froze a lot of stuff, up. So when people talk about buying gold and things like that, those are always good because you can go cash them out, anywhere and melt that down and get that cash. When you got shit in commodities and stocks and things that could be frozen, that people, that digital, people can get their hands on that. But when you got gold and things like that, and whether it be vehicles, and things where, I mean, they can freeze that too. But I'm just saying, like gold and precious diamonds or paintings and things like that. You could put that shit up, hide it somewhere, have somebody sell it, and get some bread. You know what I mean? But yeah, I see it. That's crazy. Let me go back to the comments. My bad, y'all. Definitely hit the like button and subscribe. Appreciate that, Jason Reels Network. Hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're dropping content, and this makes for a lot of great content. They're seasoning like all his properties and everything. Yeah, I seen that art, everything. Yeah, I see that. Remember what my man used to say? Put everything in my mama name. You know, man, his children may not even see much money now. Yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be he could have invested into his children to preserve his assets. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a lot of things, he probably by the time they like were on him, it was probably too late to do anything. But before that, if maybe he caught wind, it's probably things he could have did. Hopefully, it's all see with that. It's all about how you have things set up. Some people may have overseas trust accounts. Corporations that own corporations and shell corporations. There's different things. There's different things, man, that you could do. But you got to already do it before. You can't do it as a reactionary. You have to do it as a proaction thing. Like, all right, this is how I'm gonna set this up, that's set this up, set this up, set this up. So in the event that this happens, this will be protected, that will be protected. They don't know what this is, they don't know what that is. Even if they're the feds, but it might be too late, you know. Sure. The lessons behind this story to treat people right. All this could have been avoided. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. I 100% agree. I could never like do anything like that, me personally, but I'm not Diddy. I never had that much money. I never had that much power. I'm not. I could speak on that. I just, I'm not gonna force somebody. Have somebody doing that type of, sexual shit. I'm just not gonna do that. You know. So Cassie's mother demanded 20K from Diddy. She was concerned about the safety of her daughter. That makes absolute sense. Hmm. Urinating in people's mouths, extorting their mom, etc. I mean, come on, man. Like I just who gonna let somebody do that, bruh? Come on, come on. We acting real know some freaky ass women out there. Let's keep it a buck. Apparently, more celebrities are going to take the stand. Well, that's you know what? I wish the extreme perversion. Absolutely. I wish they would have gave us kind of like a list. And I don't know how long this trial is going to go on, but I kind of hate. I wish I could watch it myself. I kind of hate getting secondhand reports and watching these different networks, like because they put their own spin on it. I want to be watching this myself, man. The federal courts got to switch that whole thing up about cameras not being in there. You got to have cameras in the courtroom so people can see, man, what's going on. Solar Sapien, I've seen chicks do worse for less. No, I'm telling you, that's what I try to tell people. Like we acting like, come on, bro, come on, bro. We acting like. So I keep like, yo, bro. I'm not even gonna talk about certain situations. You know what I mean? That but come on, bro. I'm talking about chick like getting like it's another story. you know, I honestly think he was high when he asked for 20. Otherwise, he sent it back. Yeah, he did send it back. It's a power dynamic. Okay, you know. Nah, but it's. I'm sure there's more things going on right now. Testimony and things like that. I just hate reading it, bro. I want to be watching it, and then I'll bring it back. You know what I mean? But We got some power. Just stay tuned, stay locked in, man. A great interview today, actually around 2 o'clock, and a great one Friday, trying to set some more up while this whole thing is going on. It was his true colors. F that they were ending back and forth, but she did under his instructions. She was expecting something on the other side. He didn't come through, which is why we are here. Man, yeah, and yeah, you know what? That's definitely plausible. That's definitely plausible. Thank you, Sanders. That's definitely plausible for real. That I can see that. Like, and then I think in some of the messages in her testimony, she kind of alluded to that. Like, yo, I wanted a record deal, I wanted this, I wanted that, so I was willing to, do what I do what I wanted. Renee Still and Diddy has decades of mistreating other. Karma is a yeah, man. But however, his family is right there by his side, though. Look at that. My neighbor's house was raided today. He was going 25 Met plant. Yeah, wow. DC dog, I love your interaction with the chat. I'm definitely going to subscribe. Appreciate you. Even though we ain't agree, I definitely appreciate. I mean, because yeah, a conversation like this, y'all kind of keep it going. I mean, it's almost only so much I can really say once I say what I say. I mean, this is about Meek Mill. He said like a paragraph or less. So y'all kind of keep it going, with different things and thoughts. We're here for multiple reasons. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, y'all gotta let me see. Thank you, Anthony Thomas. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Not his twin daughters, they didn't show up because they're saying that they aren't supporting him. I could see how a woman wouldn't. I could see that. I didn't see they weren't supporting him. This should be a civil case like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, televised. It's federal. They don't want to see anything in the courtroom. It's so whack. I know, man. Ah, I joined to have like 100,000 people watching it. If it was televised, I would have definitely been like, you know what, I'm gonna go to New York, go stay up there, try to get a camera. I mean, I might as well be as high tech as some other networks. I'll definitely put in for it though. Man, that'd have been crazy. That'd have been oh my, whoo, because the reward would have been crazy. If it was like in Philly or somewhere close, I would definitely would go. All right, cool. I'll check the email. I can't check it. I don't have my computer, but I'll check it on my phone in a minute. They had their prom and graduation. Yeah, that's I ain't yeah. That about the twin daughters. Not I don't think that's true, bro. His whole family supporting him. You know, um, and the people that's not. I always look at it like this: the people that's not around is the people. The people that got something to say is always the people who didn't make it. If you notice that, like somebody got fired, somebody's deal didn't work out, their career didn't go where they wanted to go, so they blame Diddy. He did this, he did this, and maybe he did do something, but shit, if you're great enough, why can't you recover from it? Why can't you go do it with somebody else? You know, Jason Real. It's sad that people that he did right stabbed him in the back, and that's the part I don't like, bro. Because he did some people wrong, but he did some people right too. He paid y'all money when y'all was bodyguarding him, when y'all was doing music, when y'all was whatever, popping his girl off. You know what I mean? Like, yo, he paid y'all. He did right by y'all, bro. But that's the way it kind of goes, man. I mean, it's about the portrayal is it's the story they give you the Jesus Christ analogy. Why how you gonna have the Judas and the people that you do good for and all the great deeds for, they're gonna be the ones, throwing the dirt on it and putting you on the cross. The twins walk out of the courtroom. I got to check that out. He didn't do his artist right. Maybe not. But he didn't always deal with artists. He dealt with other people too. And did business with other people. Let me see. Let me see what you're talking about here. Google. Give me one sec. I'm still here, y'all. I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still here. Let me see. We're gonna see. Diddy's twin daughters attend prom amid dad's trial. Yeah, yeah, they went to the prom and whatnot. Ain't nothing about them. Uh let me see. Yeah, that's they left. Now, I remember they did leave because it was testimony or whatever the case may be. And I'm sure that was strategic that the mom and the people and the dad was like, yo, and the lawyer was like, yeah, we don't want to have them in here for that. But it don't mean that they not supporting him. We can't pyramid those inferences like that, you know? Y'all think that he's gonna beat this? Let me see if I can put a poll in here real quick. How you do this? Hold on. I don't know if you probably can't. Oh, here you go. I'm gonna put a poll in here real quick for y'all. Stay tuned. Hit the thumbs up button. Will do. Mm. All right, so I threw the poll in there. Let me know if y'all can see the poll. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna see what kind of votes we get. Yeah, Renee, I get what you're saying, but like I said, they left. They did leave the courtroom. I think because of the nature of the testimony, but that doesn't mean they're not supporting him, though. That don't mean they're not supporting. They just left because they didn't want to hear the testimony. You know, that don't mean not supporting it. It means that was a strategic move or it was their choice not to listen to that particular testimony because of the graphic nature of it. They can't support him fully. I don't know. Them girls the same age Cassie was. Let that sink in. Yeah, that's wild. But I appreciate it, Renee. I mean, did he allow his artists to get their masters after the public was painting him as a piece of shit? Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Diddy can beat this case of inconclusive evidence or a hung jury causing dismissal. Yeah. Silver Shalamo. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I think he's going to walk free because his reputation is done. He's going to end up broke and end all the lawsuits. He ain't never going to be broke, though. Like, our broke and his broke is two different things. Our broke is -$1,700 in a bank account to your name. His broke might be a few, 30, $40 million sitting somewhere. I wouldn't call that broke. He has too many videos on people. Two things can right at the same time. They could love their father and still know he's a creep. Yeah, I mean, it's you know how it is with kids and their parents, man. Like, you know, it could be all different type. Maybe he had the best relationship with him. Who knows? Who knows? He could have 100 million to owe 600 million. That's broke. Yeah, I guess. I mean, but you still got 100 million. Feel what I'm saying? I can still make moves. That's like if I have 100,000, I owe 1,000,000. I can still make moves. I could take 10,000 and get a lawyer and file bankruptcy, or 20,000 get a lawyer and file bankruptcy, or I could still make moves. I'm trying to say, like, when you're dead broke is different, than being Diddy broke or one of these guys that what they call broke. Because if you file Chapter 7, all that shit go away, and you got to sell this and sell that, but you still keep a portion, of what you got. Especially if it's not anything in bank or anything. How they gonna prove what you got? You could have $10 million cash somewhere. You know. But I get what you're saying. I don't know what that shit means, bro. I don't know. Maybe his friends will take care of it for not talking. I don't see that. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's the truth. It's the truth. Look up Chapter 7 bankruptcy. It's a liquidation. Now he had to sell. He'll lose a lot, but he'll never be broke, broke, broke like us broke ever. Never, ever, ever. It just won't happen. It just won't happen. Even Bill Cosby, he had to sell a lot of things. He's not broke. All the lawsuits and stuff he had, because you got to remember these people have different insurances. You know that pay out. It might not be that money they're paying out. Like Bill Cosby had insurance for things, and his insurance paid out a lot of money. And that, if you watch the whole interviews, you would see Andrew White talked about that. I forget the name of the company that was, there's different insurances you can have, for different things to cover different things. Hopefully he had it. It's just like you get in a car accident, like you ain't got to pay for it. Don't mean your net worth is going to obviously go down, because even Jay Z talked about him losing a lot of money for just the allegation. You're gonna lose no, you're gonna have no more opportunities. You're gonna lose a lot of stuff you could have in the future. But like I said, if I got 100K, if I got $1 million cash, and I owe 10 million, I still got $1 million cash. You know, I ain't coming up off that if I don't have to. Hey, that's just but whatever, right? That's smarter, cause I don't know. Diddy might not have had that. Did he? But I do know from talking to Andrew White and talking to Bill Cosby himself. We actually did talk to him. I never put it out. You know, um, he did lose a lot. He lost. And he's losing. Jay-Z said he lost like 20, 30 million just off of allegation. It might have been even more than that, you know? Did you see the article about his lawyer will try to get Trump to pardon him if he's found guilty? That'd be crazy. Wouldn't that be crazy if Trump did that, bro? Yeah, Silver. Yo, yeah, you can or you can file 11, Chapter 11 bankruptcy, or it's like a reorgan. Or 50 Cent did it. 50 Cent did it when he lost the lawsuit to Rick Ross's baby mom for something. He filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy and paid this shit off. You know, um, in a number of years. You know, he ain't got a soul. He's broke. Yeah, New York Beast. This is my man. Diddy should have fed the country overseas like Russell Simmons did. Dude been chillaxing in Bali for years. He can't be punished outside the U.S. Dude, and I said the same thing. I said the same thing early on. Yeah, I would have been out of here. You know what I mean? A country where don't rock with the United States. You know what I mean? I won't extradite. I'll be on the internet eating, drinking mai tais and biting into strawberries and shit and watermelons and shit on live somewhere. You know, like Russell Simmons. He said, "Hell no, I'm not getting caught up in the bullshit. I'm out of here." He had every means to do that, and he stayed. He could have been out of here. I mean, think about it. You dog. You done made it. Like, what else is it to do? You did everything. Like, I'm out, gone. Simmons was out there as soon as he sniffed accusation. because he understands the system. I think he understands the system, and he might have been guilty. He might not have been guilty. He said, "I'm out. Like I'm liquidating this. I'm liquidating that. I'm taking this in cash." And that's what people need to be doing anyway. Like, forget them banks, man. You know what I mean? You need to go old school, old grandpa, grandma, have a shoebox somewhere. You know, stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Even if the money's rotten, they'll a lot of times cash it in and give you some fresh bread from what I hear. That's just what I hear. Don't tell me how I know that because I know some people, right? Then it's probably out the country. And you know what's crazy? Dirk tried. Yeah, Dirk was a little a lot. Dirk was too. Dirk was too late. He was too late with it. Like once he tried to like book 3 different flights or whatever the case may be. I wouldn't even got on. You got to go to a private airport or something, and I don't know. How you would do it or whatever the case may be, but think about it. If you was in Miami, you could go give somebody a bag of money, a private charter, like on the spot, like, yo, here goes 30,000, 40,000. Take me to Cuba. Take me, whatever. You know what I mean? I go to Cuba, they can't touch me in Cuba. You know? You give a guy 40,000, $100,000 for a 90-mile trip that might take, I don't know, 30 minutes. Diddy thought he was invincible. Dude, really a narcissistic egomaniac. He learned the hard way going against the elites. They made an example out of him, proving he wasn't involved. Absolutely, bro. That's right there. That's real. That's real. Rashawn after the free puffy. That's real talk. You never a boss in somebody else's system. You think you are, right? You think because they got the alphabets, whether it be the IRS, FBI, DEA, any of those you know, entities will crack you. Any of them, you know, any of them. Even like think about Jay. I think he might be one of the richest entertainers ever. They even came for him. They got shut down, and I don't think that's the last. But they came for him. You gotta go. This content, you gotta go all the way back, bro. Diddy showed us really the Joker and the Riddler combined, do the real psychopath and master manipulator. I can't. I have to agree with you. And I think people inherently seen that. 'Cause every time we would put a video up about Diddy, talk about Diddy, people will always talk about, oh, he's the devil. Oh, he's this. He can run around and say love all he wants. He can look all he wants, like he's healthy and in shape and eating this. But you look behind the scenes, man. You see those photos behind the scenes, bro? The stuff they rated, like he's a monster, man. He's a monster, right? But with that being said, I'm not saying he should get the RICO or the ST, the trafficking, but yeah, for the guns and all that. Of course, we already know what that is. But I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna digress. It's been an hour. It's been an hour. Dash Hound, what's up, my brother Ben? You got 6 years. Now keep up the good work. Keep up the content. Appreciate you, man. You've been here for 6 years. When was that? Damn. Those were the glory days. That's what 2019. Man, shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. We keeping the fight going. It gets hard sometimes. We still rocking, man. This content is about Diddy, Meek Mill. Diddy is those guys you see off the movie, right? Nino Brown type. That's who Diddy is in real life. Like running around, drugging, doing all types of sexual stuff, putting hits out on people, smacking women, taking lines of cocaine, like taking drugs. That's who Diddy is. I see him. I see through him. I've been seeing that. That's who he is, right? That's just what it is. You think Dirk finna get out? No, I think Dirk cooked. Dirk is cooked. Dirk is gonna get indicted with the RICO. Dirk's probably gonna spend the next 25 plus years in prison. That's just my thought. I'm not saying I wish it on him, but I just feel like that, it's just too much, bro. He was in too deep. I think Diddy has a chance of walking. I do. Bob Davis was the main devil, but he's so protected by the industry. Yep. Y'all remember this video? And I'm gonna end on this one. Y'all remember this video? It's deleted. You can't find it now. With Tupac, he was like, "Yo," and I asked Mo Preem, Tupac's cousin, about a video, and this might ring a couple of bells. Where he said that Quincy Jones said he wanted to f Tupac in the you know what. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Tupac said that? I'll wait. I asked Mo Preem about that. I asked Mo Preem about that. He acted like he didn't know what I was. He was offended by the shit. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? I know y'all remember that. Haven't heard that. I'm waiting. Yep, about Quincy Jones. He said Quincy Jones came to him, to Tupac, and said he wanted to f him in the you know what. Yep. See, Ernest. See, I knew it. You can't Ernest. Go look for that. You can't find that nowhere, man. They took that off the internet. And I asked Mo Preem about that. Go and type Mo Preem hip hop uncensored interview. And I asked him about that on an interview. He looked at me like I was crazy. Did he have something to do with Tupac's death? I don't know. But see, you remember that. It was yeah, he said maybe I gotta find a documentary. I'm not sure, but yeah, he said it. I actually had that on tape, VHS. Hey man, if you can find it, man, if you can find it, hit me up, man. Hit me up. Hit me up. I'll give you the credit. But you can't find it on the internet no more. I looked. So maybe I gotta look again. I can't find it, bro. They got rid of that video. He said it, you know? Now let me see the poll real quick. I forgot to look at that. So I asked, will Diddy win the case? 31% of people said yes, 69 said no. So that's not that many people that actually voted, but I'll probably put it up on the channel to see where it goes when more people get yeah, hit me up. My email's in the description box. So just hit me. Hit me if you got it, or if you want to just like if you got the tape, just like record it with your phone and send me the small clip. And I'll give you the credit. But my email's right at the all the way at the bottom of the description. So any video you can find my email on, or the website you can find you can find me. I'm easy to find. Dash Hound, I think Diddy is just another example of what happens when you try to swerve into other lanes that the established don't want you to be in. This black excellence meeting. Look, I was actually I gotta probably get it out. I was actually putting something together on that, and I stopped a few months, maybe like a year ago. I just stopped or whatever because I lost my career out. My creativity just wasn't. Yeah, I got away from it. But I do have like a rough thing of some clips, and I was kind of waiting. I was like, you know what? Let's wait and see how this trial goes and how things so I can get more content. So I'm piecing something together, and I need to drop it before this shit ends. And I'm piecing something together on that whole that black excellence and things like that. And I'm gonna be dropping real soon. I wish I can get some more interviews with people and whatnot, or whatever the case may be, but it is what it is. I'm gonna drop it for what I got on it. Might be about 15 minutes long, and that's the aspect. that a lot of people don't talk about. Um, you know, he's not black excellence. I mean, in a way he is. In a way he is. It ain't easy to become a billionaire. Pac was in love with Kadada Jones. He even got engaged to her before his death. Yep. That's his daughter. And he said Quincy, he said the dad came and said he wanted, you know what I mean? So what I tell you, Ernest, they scrubbed it. They scrubbed it from the internet. They scrubbed it. They got rid of that joint for whatever reason. They scrubbed it. Yeah. Usually you can find like on if you can't find it on YouTube, usually you can find it on Twitter, something, right? But now you can't find it. But I'm gonna get with y'all, man. I'm definitely gonna get with y'all. It's been a blast, man. It's been a real good time, rapping with y'all and whatnot. But I'm gonna get off here and get some other things done. And y'all check in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, double check and make sure you're getting all notifications. It's a little notification bell. Fill it in to get all notifications. And hit the thumbs up button before you leave up out of here. If you want to advertise with us, it's OGOD at hiphopun.com. Hit me up. You got a brand business song, OGOD at hiphopun.com. I miss what y'all looking for. I might have it. I was talking about when Tupac said that Quincy Jones approached him and wanted to F him in his, you know what? Yep. Quincy Jones might have pulled the strings. Yep. Yep. It was I remember hearing it. It probably was in a documentary. It might still be out, but I couldn't find it like standalone. So if somebody has it, send it over and I'll put something together on it. You know what I mean? All right, get back to me. Yep. See, Solar, he remember that. But yeah, let me get up out of here, y'all. You have a good day. I appreciate